Welcome to a practical guide on web development 2022. Well, you say finding why learn to code. There are many reasons to learn to code. Figure out what you want to do with this skill. Work as a developer for a company, freelance, or run your own business, build your own product or SaaS, software as a service, create educational content, code a hobby. You always need to have make code your habit. Coding every day is matter of much. Type of web developer. There are three types of web developer. Now we say front-end developer work on the client side, browser, and create a user interface. They use tools like HTML, CSS, JS, DOM, and Firebase, framework, etc. The back-end developer work on the web server and deal with database. They use languages like JS, Python, PHP, etc. Database like Postgres, MongoDB, HTTP server configuration, deployment, etc. Now we see full stack. Full stack work on the front end and back end and work with a combination of the tools above. Tools, the necessity. The basic tools that every web developer uses: a computer or OS, Mac OS, Windows, Linux, or WSL. Web browser: Chrome, Firefox, Brave, Edge, Safari. You can use any of it. Text editor or IDE. Now, when we talk about text editor or IDE, we're talking about Visual Studio Code, Sublime Text, Vim, or Watchstone. Terminal. The default terminal will be iChain2, PowerShell, Git, Bash, or Hopper. Design software: Figma, Adobe XD, or Sketch. HTML and CSS. HTML and CSS are the building block of web development. HTML5 basic and semantic tag, page layout. CSS fundamental, CSS alignment, like box, CSS grid, media query, responsive design, and simple animation transition. Now, SaaS and post CSS. SaaS is a CSS pre-processors that add to the functionality of CSS. It offers variables, nesting, mixing functions, etc. Post CSS is tools for transforming CSS with JavaScript. They are plugins to add the stuff SaaS offer and more. CSS framework. Choose one. You can either choose one of these CSS framework. Now, the CSS framework gives you predefined classes, component to style, elements. They can rapidly speed up the process of creating layout with a Bootstrap 5, Tailwind CSS, Materialize, Boomer, Foundation. These are all popular high-level frameworks. Lower-level utility-based framework based on material design, mobile first module framework, advanced CSS. CSS framework, choose one. You can choose any of these. Now, A UI design principle. The front-end developers and web designer should know some basic design principles. We say color and contrast, which is the text should be readable. White space, check space between elements. Skills, relative element, sizing, visual, hierarchical, arranging in order of importance, topographic, typeface, sizing, etc. JavaScript is the language of the web browser. Every web developer should learn some level of JS knowledge. Now, JS Basic, DOM, Synchronized JS, Fetch API, and HTTP array method. Now, database type, data structure, functions, loops, document object model, so forth. Now, we say extra programming tools. Git is a popular version control system. It is used with remote repository such as GitHub, GitLab, and Bitbucket. Now, npm is a package manager used to install packages into your project. npm requires Node.js to be installed. Now, browser DevTools are important for all types of developer element, selectors, console, storage, network activity, etc. Now, Emmet Live Server, Perimeter, ES, Plant, GitHub, Cellos, etc. Deploying front-end project. The popular platform Netflix, cPanel, Visual, Amazon, domain name registrar, Namecheap, Blue, GoDaddy, domain.com. There are multiple ways to deploy to a hosting platform. The basic front-end development. A basic front-end development should be able to do the following: create website layout with HTML, CSS, understand some basic design principles, know JavaScript, and how to work with the DOM. Create basic interactive front-end applications, connect to APIs, and make requests via fetch. Work with Git and use version control. Deploy and manage small production project. Yeah, where to go from here? Choose one. Front end, which is framework, React, save it, state managers, server size, rendering, web design, learn more design, get better, add CSS, simple website, backend, Node.js, Python, PHP, C#, Go, database postage, MongoDB, HTTP API deployment, advanced JS, model, runner, testing and design, pattern. Front-end framework, choose one. The front-end JS framework used for SPS, SPAS, spans, single-page app, React, Angular, Vue, and Civet. TypeScript, subset of JavaScript that add static typing and other features. Static typing checking, class and module support other ES6 plus feature. Code less prone to errors. Code is more robust and differentiate. Now, we say reusable design element component. Material UR, checker UR, once UR, React, Bootstrap, Vue material, Unify, Bootstrap, Vue, Angular material, and so on. Common type of testing in programming.